So, Dan, this is your 2026. How many versions of Solid Edge have there been?
That is a darn good question
Uh,
because change the branding from time to time, and it's been hard to keep track.
I know it was a lot easier when it was numbered releases.
Interestingly enough,
Yeah,
next April is our 30th anniversary of shipping Solid Edge. Uh, we shipped bi-yearly for 2 years. We skipped, so that would put us at 32 or something, and then
yeah.
we skipped 13 for reasons that are unclear.
Yeah.
And we also doubled up on some other release. So anyhow, right around 30-ish releases, 30, 35 releases. Yep.
Boy, that's a lot. And I think you've been around for all of them, I want to say.
Yeah, so I actually joined Intergraph. I'm in my 42nd year.
I've been in this business now for some time, not quite as long probably, but I've always associated you as the person. I call you the father of Solid Edge. I don't know if that's completely accurate,
I don't know
but
if it's completely accurate either. I got a great team, but it always makes me smile. So I'll take it.
yeah, yeah. But so in 2026 version, what do you consider to be the biggest features, biggest improvements? And I'm gonna hope that something about AI is in there.
You don't have to hope. That's
Oh,
probably the lead headline. So as
okay.
long as I've been in this industry, I feel fortunate to have been able to call a lot of the, oh, this is hype cycle. Let's not invest in it too much. Let's invest enough, but we know it's going to die out. All that kind of stuff. But AI is absolutely not that. AI is not hype cycle. It's real. It's here to stay. I'm sure all of us use it daily in a conversational way. I know that I do. I don't Google anything anymore. I go ask AI the answer, and it's always better. So we've invested quite a bit in that as a company, Siemens, but also in my part of the company. Couple things in AI that we really like. One's intelligent assembly or magnetic snap. So when you're putting together parts, you know, humans can pretty quickly figure out if you gave it two parts, what the heck are you supposed to do? How do they go together? And so we're figuring that out with AI, and it just improves your ability to put things together a lot more quickly. I think actually assembly is our most used environment. I think all of CAD assembly is the most used environment. So the ability to cut down on that time is really great.
hmm So
We of course have a go ahead.
can I ask you about that? So I've always thought like putting mates on and put and assigning mates and making edges meet
Yeah,
and surface to surface. I always thought that was quite a unnecessary exercise. I felt like it should know how it goes together. Like if there's two holes that are for the same screw, I was hoping maybe AI should help me out with that, right? It should
yeah,
be,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Is
that's
that?
exactly it, right? You've got an assembly, you drag it apart, you drag it near to where it goes, and it will snap itself into place. And it's still fundamentally going to do the mates and aligns that the DCM solver does for everybody. But
Uh-huh.
it's going to figure that all out and snap it into place automatically when you get close. So yeah,
Nice.
exactly what you wanted is now there.
So surface to surface, concentric holes lined up, concentric,
Yep. All
that
that.
kind
It
of
fits
thing.
it all in one go. Yep.
Nice, nice. Can't wait to
So
try that out.
that's pretty sweet. We
Mhm.
of course have a conversational assistant, Copilot. The ability to ask questions and get intelligent answers. Usually, obviously best for people learning the system, but I think the argument for many years have been, oh, can't you improve your help? And then you're like, well, the help's really good. It's just a matter of finding, the topic, right? Amongst the bazillion topics there are. And that's where AI really helps out, right? Ask it a conversational question, it'll go search through reams and reams of help and documentation and training and figure out, how to answer that in an intelligent way. So that resonates really well with users.
Yeah, yeah, it does. I
And
want to ask, I want to dwell on that just a wee bit if we could. Um, so I use Solid Edge among other software tools, quite a few of them, and I would say master of all, master of none. Uh, was maybe master of one or two earlier in my career, but nowadays it's just I'd have to know so many. But again, my knowledge is surface deep only.
Mhm.
So I always find myself struggling with the terminology of a particular CAD system. So what you're saying now with Copilot, I should be able to avoid having to. This is what I'm hoping for. Tell me how close I am or how close Solid Edge is to this. I'm hoping to put in natural language commands and have it do what it needs to do. Like I don't have to remember the Solid Edge commands. Would that
Well, I think we're getting there at
uh,
Solid Edge and in general. The notion that hey, I just want to tell it I want to plate with four holes evenly spaced across a 5-inch plate or something like that.
yeah,
That's absolutely coming and in the not too distant future.
okay.
But today it would be more like, okay, I don't really know how to use the whole command. Tell me how to use the whole command, right? And maybe
Okay.
an interim step would be, hey, I need a hole with these parameters, and I'll just go and fill in the parameters for you. So there's kind of like moving from conversational help, I guess one might call it, to sort of assisted work, and then ultimately, very assisted work, right? And we're definitely on that journey. We have quite a great roadmap around this.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, that is what we're getting towards. Okay, well, so right now it's more or less, I hope I'm not oversimplifying, but a way to get better help, right? To wade through the
I think
documentation.
for that particular piece of the system, so there's really three pieces of AI that are new in
Mhm.
2026, and one was the intelligent assembly magnetic snap.
Mhm.
One is the conversational assistant, and the third is automatic drawing generation. And this is the one, to be honest with you, I'm most excited about.
Yeah,
Go and talk to engineers, you being one yourself, I guess.
yeah,
The thing you don't want to do is create the drawings, right? Your value add is in design, and then it's like, oh God, I got to go create the drawings, but I got to do it because that's what people need. And
yeah.
so, our kind of aha moment was, okay, so, but you're creating the whole, similar drawings all the time, and if you look across the millions or perhaps billions at this moment drawings that our customers have created, um, aren't there some patterns that we could recognize and use to do that, quickly and effectively? Choose the right sheet, choose how many views, do all the dimensioning automatically. And we think we'll get to a point where we'd probably get about 80% of a drawing done, automatically, and really just leave some cleanup to the user. And our first major down payment on that is in Solid Edge 2026. It's doing some pretty great stuff.
That's great. 80% of the drawing done. So I just have to look at it and make sure dimension's the right place. Nothing is over dimensioned or under dimensioned.
Yeah,
Does
and the
it do?
funny thing is that that's going to get subsumed by agents also in the not too
Yeah,
distant
yeah.
future, right? It'll be okay. Now AI has generated this drawing. Other AI, please go look at this and correct it to the ANSI standard, or whatever it might
Right, right. An AI that's a drawing checker.
be.
You're right
Exactly.
about the about how what drone work. I thought definitely the drawings would just go away. We would never use.
Honestly, I never thought that. I mean, we're
Really?
still talking about. I've been in the industry 42 years, and
Yeah.
40 years ago, drawings were going away.
Yeah.
I once had a engineering manager say to me, I thought this was the best thing ever said. He said, when you get me a monitor that's E size and I can fold it up and put it in my pocket, let me know. So
Uh,
Solid Edge have always been the drafting guys, right? I think our drawing creation's been, I can just
mhm.
say it out loud, better than anyone.
It'll help me find the commands to do something, but it doesn't. Does it actually at this point interact with the software? Is that what's yet to come?
For the conversational piece or co-pilot,
Yeah.
yes, and I won't say it helps you find the commands. We've had that for 20 plus years. We were the
Okay.
first in the industry to build Command Finder, where it's like, in Solid Edge, we call it thin wall, but in PTC, they call it shell. So if you key in shell, you're going to get thin wall, right? All
Okay.
that stuff we've had for 20 years plus.
Okay.
But asking it a more, comprehensive question that might require you to string together, several things in a workflow, that's going to be more
Mhm.
helpful with the conversational assistant or the co-pilot.
Yeah.
Um, but yes, our automation is around intelligent assembly and drawing
Uh,
generation. And then automation in the part space is something you'll see in the future.
Okay. So natural language command, like make a drawing. You've got your model done. Make me the three views and an isometric and dimension it. That would be the kind of command you'd put in there. You would say to it.
Well, actually, I mean, we're getting a little technical here, but for our AI drawing generation, there's a command that says, create an AI drawing for me.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't, I don't put that in the conversational assistant, although it certainly could start there, I
Oh,
suppose.
okay. It's just a button.
Yeah, it's just a button.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Boy, I wish I would have died for that button.
I know. I think everybody would. I mean, this is one of the things that to me is just like so transparently obvious that a lot of time is spent creating drawings and no one wants to do it.
I always thought Solid Edge had the best interface of all. The marching menu, like you could progress along your
Yeah, yeah. We used to call it
process.
smart step. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So nice. That's so nice. When I saw that at first, I thought, wow, this is really nice. I can use this. I don't it'll tell me what I have to do next, which I found very, very useful. Yeah. That was a Solid Edge invention pretty much, wasn't it?
It really was. So that's
Yeah.
funny. That goes all the way back to 94, 95 when
Mhm.
I said, gosh, you know what? Here we are making a Windows-based product, but Windows doesn't have multi-step commands. You select some text and you hit bold, you know,
Yeah.
select some text and then hit italic. There's no such thing other than wizards, to do multi-step thing. And wizards are big and clunky and awkward. And we're like, wait,
Yeah.
seems wrong. So
Yeah.
yeah, smart step was invented back then. I believe it's patented actually.
Uh,
Back in the 94, 95 timeframe to solve that problem. And
right.
yeah, great, great tool.
Yeah, 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 definitely. You mentioned that it's Solid Edge is known for its drawing, and yeah, I've heard that several times. It's a really good drawing package. It's also known for sheet metal, right? Sheet metal is one of the main things. Has there been
Yeah.
any changes to sheet metal in the new version, or any improvements, or is that
Yeah, no,
already
quite a bit.
perfected?
I mean, I
Okay,
think yeah, yeah, the good news is we're never done, right?
okay,
I think some great new things in sheet metal. And I do think this has also been an amazing story about how we and NX can collaborate better together. Because basically we share that module 100%, the sheet metal stuff. It was originally written by the Solid Edge team, then went over and got a lot of love from the NX manufacturing team and some other more advanced capabilities that maybe the automotives were asking for, but it's something we jointly developed together. And so that is in fact a trend that started, I don't know, that's probably 10, 15 years ago. We joined on sheet metal, but more and more we're working together a lot. And I don't know if you've seen this term design center. Is that term familiar to you?
it sounds familiar.
Okay, well, let's
Yeah.
make it more familiar.
Okay, all right,
You're
please.
familiar with in Siemens, we have Team Center, we have Ops Center, we have Sim
Yes.
Center. So
Right.
we now also
Everything's
have
centered.
Design Center. And so
Right.
Design Center is NX and Solid Edge and some other products also under a single suite, right? That all works together. So you're going to, in fact, hear, and I'm sure you'll notice in the press release, we're not going to say Solid Edge 2026. We're going to say Design Center Solid Edge 2026. And that represents not only obviously that it all works together, but I think as an organization too, the design center organization of the Solid Edge team, the NX team, all making one product suite that completely interoperates, works from smallest to largest. That's all part of the design center strategy that we don't think honestly anybody else in the industry can touch because everybody else has very disparate products under their suite. You'll definitely see it from us in the, like I say, all the materials see coming out this month, tomorrow, I guess,
Yeah.
is going to be Design Center this and Design Center that. But I just want to be clear that it's a lot more than just a brand. We've been
Uh,
working together with the NX team for, like I say, a lot of years, but I would say within the past 2 to 4 years, that collaboration has been outstanding. And sheet metal is one of those places where we both get the love, right? And sometimes
yeah. Yeah.
we implement something, sometimes they do, and we both get it for free, right? Which is great.
Yeah.
So back to
Interesting.
sheet metal briefly.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think one of my favorites is tab and slot. I mean, that's really nice, right? That's done a lot where you're going to create a tab and you're going to create a slot, but why isn't that one thing where it does the positive and the negative all in one go?
Uh-huh.
We've done multi-edge flange trimming, so it's really cool that you could, let's say, have a box and pull, 4 flanges off at one time that are all kind of facing towards each other on the end, but then they all start to overlap and it gets to be a bit of a mess. Well, that all happens automatically. Now we do all the trimming and mitering for you.
Mhm.
We allow etches around bends, for example. So first of all, a lot of CAD systems, if you're just doing sheet metal, that they do the basics of sheet metal, but etching is a real thing. Almost everybody etches part numbers or something else on their sheet metal. And so, as you were saying, are you done? Well, no, we're never done. Etching around bends so that an etch can cross a bend, and if the bend radius changes, the etch will update. All that stuff is working. So quite a lot actually in sheet metal this release.
Yeah, no, very nice. Is there a AI type command that you, or natural level command, or now probably a button, forgive me if I missed this, that says here's the shape I've created in 3D, it's sheet metal, unfold it and put all the
Oh yeah,
text.
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So two things there. One is in Solid Edge has distinct environments for sheet metal and parts. So
Mm.
like if you're creating a non-sheet metal part, it's a part file. If you're creating a sheet metal part, it's a sheet metal file. It's got a different Windows extension, and it knows it's intended to be flattened. It knows how to flatten it, and so on. So yes, there's a single button to flatten.
Okay.
And then again, NX collaboration. Some people make really complicated stuff that's like deep drawn or sculptured surfaces, and we can actually flatten that stuff as well. That's technology we borrowed from NX that allows us to flatten virtually any shape you come across, not just straight break stuff.
Oh, yeah, deep drawn. It's that to flatten a deep drawn part, you'd have to know quite a bit about the physics, the materials, right?
Yeah, it's basically a very specialized type of finite element analysis that's doing the physics. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Very interesting. So feather in your cap, you guys actually put sheet metal out there, and then the NX guys picked it up. It's like that.
Yeah, that was a nice working out. I mean, I do think I mean, I can honestly say I think that back in 98 we really introduced feature-based sheet metal modeling.
Yeah.
PTC had a thing where it was like red side, blue side or something like that, but this notion that you have tabs and flanges and there are these sheet metal features, that was kind of an epiphany we had back in that era where we said you know what? Let's give PTC credit. They invented sort of the feature-based modeling thing, but they invented plastic part feature-based modeling and machine part feature-based modeling, but not sheet metal modeling with features.
Right.
So that was something we really put our mind to and did our first release in 98 and came out with sort of the changing of the game and the way sheet metal's done. That's everybody does it that way now, and NX was of course able to take advantage of that easily.
Yeah. Yeah. Say, now, correct me if I'm wrong. They picked up synchronous technology from you too, right? That's included now in all of
That's
NX.
true as well. That's true as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
We do in the Solid Edge team and what we call mainstream, we do pride ourselves on, being innovative and particularly in ease of use, right? Our customers, we range from small, mid-sized business to very large, but if we were to say sort of that meat and potatoes focus is that small to mid-sized business, and ease of use is, paramount in that. So we're always innovating. And yeah, those are two innovations we've been able to share. I think, Rupinder, you may have been familiar at some point with NXX Essentials or even before that, ZelX.
Yes.
But, of course, with new naming and all, we are Designcenter X NX Essentials. I'll let somebody write that down for you.
Okay.
But that's complete browser native stuff. Like do your work anywhere. Great companion to Solid Edge, great companion to NX, either desktop or cloud, but it's completely browser based, but completely compatible with all of our desktop products. And you can kind of do design from anywhere. We also see it opportunity to move out into new parts of the business, whether that's purchasing shop floor, places that don't want to get an entire CAD license but need some modeling, and it even includes simulation that's using the new physics-based simulation instead of let's say a mesh kind of simulation, and also includes basic 2.5 axis cam. So we think that Designcenter X and X Essentials is the great entree into the product line for people at a certain level of capability, and it's a great on-the-go tool, and it's a great tool for other parts of your enterprise that maybe aren't, a full-time CAD tool doesn't make sense for them. So that's definitely
Right.
a product to learn more about that's in the Designcenter suite.
Oh, okay. Very good. It's great to hear that you've kept your lead up. I think from all accounts, surpassed the leaders, market leaders in those two categories, drawing and sheet metal. Where do you think Solid Edge stands, Dan, now with 2026 in terms of parity, feature parity, and function parity to the market leader? I'm talking about, of course, SolidWorks, especially.
I will invite a head-to-head benchmark against SolidWorks any day of the week. No questions asked.
Okay.
We pride ourselves on working very closely with our customer base. I think we've been doing what we call in-house beta for 30 years now, where we don't just send out beta to a bunch of people and say, log bugs, tell us what you think. We bring customers to Huntsville, Alabama. You know, we have, and of course now it's getting more distributed again because of the web and the way people work. But
Yeah.
we have a German week, a Japanese week, a Team Center week, and a couple others. And we're sitting down with our customers face to face and my key people in my team, and we're talking about what do you need different, what do you need next, and so on. And so I feel like our customer centric philosophy has led us to a place where we are absolutely will go to head with anyone in the industry, in the industries we serve, no question. The only last two things I'd highlight, you hit upon UX. We have some great new modern UX things going on, including a new dark theme that's popular, particularly amongst the generation that's moving up in engineering. And we're also, I think, just generally getting a lot more cloudy in the way that we approach things, because collaboration is a really big deal, and the ability to run Solid Edge from some other part of the world, but get your configuration to come across with you, so you're not having to reset stuff, that kind of thing. And then finally, this whole thing with flexible licensing, VBL, or value-based licensing, that originally came out of the NX team. We find that a lot of people are like, well, I might be able to use simulation, but gosh, I'd have to justify it to my boss and do a big study and so on. But also, this piping looks interesting, but oh, there's another big study. So instead, with value-based licensing, you just buy a pack of tokens, let's say 50 or 100 tokens, and you can run literally any Solid Edge, product that you like, above and beyond the basic, part assembly, drafting, modeling. You can run simulation, you can run piping, you can run whatever you want. And, the tokens are non-expiring. They're not, they don't get exhausted. You check in your tokens and someone else can use your tokens to run something else on a different workstation. So that, we think, is the new way to consume CAD and
Hmm.
CAD and related applications. And that's a real strong delivery as well in 2026. You do see in simulation, you typically see consumption based, right? I need to run
Right.
some analysis and it's going to consume some tokens, and I got to buy more tokens. This is not that. You can think of it more like floating licensing that's completely flexible, what product you're going to float, right?
Okay.
So I got to float out a simulation and use it, and it's going to go back in. And now someone can float out piping and use it and can go back in. And if you had tokens spread across your enterprise, you can have 3 people running piping, 3 people running simulation, people running electrical. It doesn't really, it's all mix and match, because the tokens are just value based, and based on the value of a product, it might take more or less tokens, but they get checked out of the pool and they get put back in the pool. They're not consumption. Think about it this way, Rukunda. You're a design engineer. You think you could make use of simulation. You think
Hmm.
you could make use of electrical routing.
Hmm.
Think you could make use of something else,
Yeah.
but you're not sure. So now you're going to have to do a 6-month study. You're going to have to prove it to your boss, all that stuff. And instead, you buy your token pack. You can use any of those at any time. Um, and so, kind of all this, justification goes away, as well as
Uh,
it becomes flexible, because the guy down the street says, well, I want electrical wiring. And now, well, he doesn't have to do anything to get it. He just uses some tokens out of the pool down the street, same company. Uh,
got it. Got it.
right.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. That's great. Thank you. Well, Solid Edge has come a long way.
I would hope so. We've been at it a little
Yeah.
while, but
Yeah.
I do feel like probably 15 years ago, right around, I guess, when synchronous technology was introduced, everybody was like, "Oh, CAD is dead. It's all about PDM. We've done everything we can do." you know,
Yeah.
it couldn't be farther from the truth. Here we are, 15 years later, still
Here we
rocking
are.
out.
Yeah. I share that sentiment almost to the word. It's like this is the most exciting time for CAD since probably since CAD was first invented. It's like, wow, we
I
can
think
do
that's
so
true.
much
I think
more.
that's true.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
AI stuff, particularly, and the cloud and collaboration stuff. The world's just a different place here.
Yeah. All right. Hang in there, Dan. A lot more work to do. I
Always, always.
All right. All right. Good talking to you, Dan. Thanks a lot. Okay, bye-bye.